Mallory Smythe, and this is your Monday morning, where we at Endow seek to feed your feminine genius by providing just a small dive into the history, tradition, and story of our Catholic faith. And so today is the Solemnity of St. Joseph, where in the tradition of the Church, we celebrate the life of St. Joseph, husband to Mary and earthly father to Jesus. But truly, we don't know much about St. Joseph. He appears just a couple times in the Gospels and then kind of disappears after that. So what does the Church have to say about this man who raised Jesus, and what can we learn from him? Well, traditionally, the Church upholds St. Joseph as the prime example as husband and father. St. Joseph laid down his life for Mary and Jesus, so much so that we don't know very much about it at all. And yet, Mary and Jesus were able to become who God needed them to be for his plan of salvation. Joseph is known for his obedience. We see in the Gospels when we do meet him, first he's obedient to the angel when the angel tells him to take Mary into his home. They have the baby Jesus, and then he's obedient again when the angel appears and tells him to flee to Egypt for the safety of his family. That's most of what we know about St. Joseph, that this was a man who put God first, when our cardinal sin is to put ourselves first. He put God first for the sake of his family, and God rewarded him. See, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but it would have been St. Joseph who taught Jesus the Jewish scriptures. It would have been St. Joseph who taught the young Jesus about the nature and character of God the Father. God the Father entrusted the knowledge of himself to Joseph to be given to God the Son. And those hidden years we know nothing about because they are meant for Mary, Joseph, and Jesus alone. What an incredible gift. Joseph was a man who had the choice to draw Jesus to himself as earthly father, and yet because he was so good, he chose to draw Jesus to his real father, God the Father in heaven. And see, we have the same choice. We can choose to draw those around us to ourselves and our gifts and our talents, or we can use those gifts and talents to lay down our lives so that we can draw others to God the Father, where they will experience abundance of life. And so I just invite you to think about that today. Do you draw people to yourself, or do you draw people to God? And I ask you to ask St. Joseph for his prayers and his intercession, that you would become someone who leads others to God the Father, so much so that maybe it's hidden from the world. So go find a St. Joseph altar, grab some sweet bread, get a fava bean, and enjoy this great feast day. Happy Solemnity of St. Joseph. You can learn more about the Holy Family with one of Endow's studies, Mother of the Redeemer. You can find us at www.endowgroups.org. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Endow Groups, and you can follow me on Instagram at Mallory A. Smythe. Have a wonderful Monday.